Okay, hello everyone. It's Professor Zerang back with weekly stream news review. So I'm recording this right now at 2 a.m. because I'm doing with a lot of like assignments here. Yeah, study is hard, of course, but that aside, I will not waste any more time to drag this any longer because I've already finished last week's Vermillion stream. Kind of talk about that. But it's actually today. Since today is also I know everybody's excited for the Eva Thursday review, so that's why I decided. So this time around we should go for take into account into Eva's review this night. Tonight we'll also take into account Kheios as well, Kheios Redline, and also Dragon Kinds of Vermillion. So this is a very huge, I would say, reviews for VP11 coming up. So without further ado, I'm not gonna waste any more time. So bear with me because this is going to be a very long video, I guess, as usual, as how my videos usually is, because I'm covering in another week of content, so that I don't really want to waste any more time. But yeah, let's go straight into it. So we have last week Spark Kid Dragoon. I think this was last Tuesday stream, but yeah, that's about it, I think. And we have, I think it's last Thursday. It's last Thursday. So Spark Kid Dragoon. So Narukami is back. So he's basically a generic starter. So we have him over here. So that's about it. He's there. Very nice art. I kind of like it. So very nostalgic, of course, for those of you who are Narukami players. So we have Red River Dragoon. So this will be the great one, of course. Very nostalgic. Very nostalgic unit for Narukami players. You have skill when this unit is being rolled upon by a grade 2 with only Narukami for its clan. Usage of for up to 1 Eternal Thunderbolt, which is a normal order, which we'll get into. Reveal it and add it to your hand and shuffle your deck, and that's very simple. And Rearguard, when this unit goes, if you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with only Narukami's card name in its clan, you counterblast 1, you choose one of your opponent's back row Rearguard and bind it. If you did not bind it, you may soul charge 2. So quite good for the soul charging and also for the bind purposes. So very good. I can see this is a potentially fall off in Vermillion, so that's quite nice as well. So back rows also have to be very careful this time because Vermillion does more than attack in front row this time indeed. So now we have Thunderstorm Dragoon. Also a very nostalgic grade 2 for those people who are very familiar during the G era days. Not just only 90 era, there's doing the old Limit Break eras and the V eras as well. When this unit is being rolled upon by a grade 3 with only Narukami, which is Vermillion only up until this point, you look at the top 7 cards of your deck, you choose of the 1 card with only Narukami for its clan or Eternal Thunderbolt from among them, reveal it and add it to your hand and shuffle your deck. So quite simple. You just need to look for 1 Narukami top 7, just look for 1 Narukami card, which can be Thunder's the cards that all the Narukami cards revealed, or for the card, alright? So add it and shuffle your deck, and when this unit is based on Rearguard, so if you have a Vanguard with only Narukami for its clan, so charge 1, and this unit comes 5k until end of turn. So it's very good. So it's a 15k beater, so and it allows you to soul charge as well, so that's quite nice. And then we have the man himself, the man, the myth, the legend, Dragon Kinds of Vermillion. So it is act skill. He has 2 skills. So first is act Vanguard. Once per turn, you counterblast 1, you choose 2 of your units with only Narukami from their clan, which only applies to forever Narukami units so far. And those units get 5k until the end of turn. So until the end of this turn, when this unit would attack, choose 2 of your opponent's Rearguard circles, and this unit battles all of the units from the chosen Rearguard and the Vanguard in 1 attack. So basically speaking, he doesn't do usually the front rows now. He basically gets to choose on the circles, on through of your opponent's Rearguard, Rearguard circles. and basically you can even target the back row, so you can just also like try to attack back row as well, so attack everything. So basic Vermillion stuff, you know, attack all attack, three attacks and whatnot. So quite nice, because like, that's very dangerous as well, because we used to like say that the back row is kind of like safe, you know, like basically like fighting this like Narukami last time, not anymore, because like you basically can choose 2 rear guards even on the back row and try to attack them all at one go, so it's quite good as well. So second, auto once per turn. This one is auto. At the end of the battle that this unit attack, if you play a normal auto during this turn, which could be the Eternal Thunderbolt, okay, so I'm gonna get straight into that later on, and your opponent has 4 or less considered damage zone, you discard 1 card from your hand, you choose one of your opponent's Vanguard and deal 1 damage. So ooh, that is very spicy and very dangerous as well, especially if you're like, or like you're already on your edge, when you feel like around like 4 damage, not much hand. So this one deals damage to you, but this one deals damage after after the battle, so you could potentially like say like try to bet that, you know, you want to be very safe, to be like, you know, PG it out, or you could just tank it until you have 5 in order for him to not proc a skill. But then again, most people will have to like PG the Vanguard, usually with Vermillion, but I think this is also like quite nice with like the damage dealer skill. So this which is not really present in like the previous Vermillion versions. I might be wrong, but I think this might be the one that is like super good for this time during Kaiser Vermillion. But now we have Eternal Thunderbolt, which is a normal order, it's a grade 3 normal order. You can play this card from your drop as well, so it's not just only from your hand, and also, but if you only play it like from your drop, you can only play this card if you're Vanguard with Vermillion in this card name, but only has Narukami for its time, correct? So if you want to play this in premium, you have to make sure that your Dragon Kaiser Vermillion is Narukami, which in my past experiences of plots, we all know that Vermillion has never been a Kheios, right? So alright, so that's basically what it is. Okay, never mind. The BS aside. Alright, so choose one of your Vanguards. It gets continuous Vanguard. If your opponent's rear guard would be retired from your rear guard circle and was hit by this unit, bind it instead of retiring, and continuous Vanguard circle. If your opponent has no rear guards, all of the front row rear guards plus 5k until the end of the turn. If this card was played from the drop, you bind this card. Okay, now I can tell you potentially why is it very dangerous for like Vermillion to like face Vermillion right now. Especially if you're like a very like rear guard reliant and like rear guard reliant tanks. For example, Eva, right? I've heard that when Vermillion comes out and in pairing with this order, the biggest problem right now is that it's once it is hit and whatnot, and was retired from rear guard and was hit by this unit. So basically speaking, with Vermillion gets to like hit everything, especially off your obsidians will get to the bind zone. So which is makes this stack like very dangerous and could potentially topple. Well, it can topple Eva, but we'll see after that. But we'll see after that with Eva's reveal tonight, which we get straight into it. And not only that, it also can trans to like powering up over the entire front row. Like already you can see that it's like pumping out at least like 10k already from this entirety of the skills so far from like Vermillion skill and with this order card, so until the end of this turn. So you can do very reach high numbers, like around like 30k by the time you have a persona right with this card. So it's actually like quite nice as well. And it's very dangerous order cards to be played in Dragon Kaiser Vermillion, and because you can just play it from the drop zone, which makes it super scary. So that's about it. But also, Rising Phoenix is back. I kind of like really like this card is always been the main of my existence during the Vieira days, because I also played Narukami last time. Before GC came out, before like year came out, I need to get back into V at the time. So the only like start deck I have to like the only trial that I was getting back into was actually like Narukami with what Ishida Naoki is, Dragonic, no, I think was it like Detonix Real, yeah, Detonix Real. So I still remember like how broken last time Rising Phoenix was, because you can actually like potentially like you get to bind opponents like retired, like try to retire opponent's regard, and then you can just pass on drop zone. This one does the same thing. Indeed, right now we have Rising Phoenix, so the skill is in the drop zone. Either player's card is bound by a card effect during your turn. If you have a Vanguard with only narrow card for its kind, you so plus one to call it this card, the Vanguard Circle. That's the first skill. The second skill on Vanguard Circle, at the cost you retire this unit, you choose one unit and this unit plus 5k until end of turn. Now the act is not as much dangerous as the first skill, because right now, because the wording, the phrasing here is that with either player's card is bound by a card effect. Now, I have friends who have analyzed like Rising Phoenix skill, and with Vermillion this time round, you can do a multi-attack. You can basically do a multi-attacker deck with Vermillion already. Here's what's their their justification and how that's their thought process. So basically, what you're gonna do is that you swing with either two of the rear guards Narukami's, could be Thunderstorm Dragoon, you attack, then Vermillion Dragon has a Vermillion attacks, then you can bind, then since you can get to bind them, you can call two Rising bind them if you play the order, then you can get to call Rising Phoenix from the drop zone, two of them to the front row rear guards. Then you have the Gandiva Great 1 skill. I don't remember the Great 1 Gandiva, the double red, which is like finish boosting, and then you get to bind itself. So it also gets to proc the effect of like Rising Phoenix as well from the drop zone. Let's say you have like 4 Rising Phoenixes in your drop zone, and then you just swing like one, like judging from the situation, you have to break 2, and then you have to break 3, and then Vermillion skill proc, and then you can have like 4 or 5, and then you boost with the Gandiva Great 1, the booster, and then end of the battle boost itself to 1, and then you can get to call like 2 more. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You can do at least 7 attacks with this thing. So it's also quite dangerous as well. So it's kind of a little bit broken though, and like for a C card, which is kind of like super scary. But then again, I can see probably a bump on the price of the Gandiva Break 1 double ray support for in the future, because I can see how is it going to be played with Vermillion and whatnot. So okay, yeah, that's about it. But then again, next card we have Dragonic Deathsight. So I missed this card on the system today. I really love Dragonic Deathsight. It really sounds cool. Like Dragonic Deathsight, what else? Was it Eradicator's Dragonic Deathsight? So they're like very nice nostalgic cards. So you can see the art over here. So the skill is that on continuous rear circle during your turn, if your opponent has no front row rear guards, this unit gets 5k, which is like it gives a little bit call back to his original skills, not just only in like the Limit Break era, the G era, but also in the V era. So 5k if opponent has no front row rear guards. And so when this unit attacks the Vanguard, if you have breach or greater Vanguard with only Narukami for its kind, so plus 2, you choose one of your opponent's rear guard and bind it. If you did not bind, you have to draw 1 card, which is kind of cool. Because if let's say you are Vermillion able to like field wipe like your entire ball already, so when he attacks, he gets to Soul Blast 2, and you can get to find another additional rear guard. And if you do not, you get to draw a card, which is kind of nice as well. So that's about it. And so the Soul Blasting is important. I can see why there's a lot of like Soul Blasting this time, because you can able to like draw cards, for example. So yeah, it's kind of nice. Vermillion doesn't Soul Blast surprisingly, but that's okay for me. And that's about like the Vermillion skill. Now again, that's what is basically the substance of it. So Dragon has a Vermillion, so I'm kind of like excited. I'm not a huge Narukami main myself, but I'm really excited to see what Narukami like Vermillion can bring into the meta after set 11. So we can see like potentially like a change, a shift in the meta, as to see like how is it going to fare against like Chronogen, how is it going to fare against Eva, how is it going to fare triggers, Akiba, example, etc. So it's kind of like very nice as well. So that's about it. And then we have the I also want to highlight this one for because like DBT12 like poster is here, so that's about it. Office, you can see Office Maskers. It's full glory, so I do. Ooh, wow, I like the art. Okay, it really reminds me of like the slash Kheios Breaker vibes, but that's about it. So that's it. And then we have the Thursday, the like Tuesday stream. So if it's the E-Cycle cards again, so the Spike Brothers one, we have like Workshop Rupert, and we have like Great Nature, which is we have Great Nature and we have Spike Brothers. So I'm gonna talk about the first skill because the second skill is so redundant now, but at this point I would dare not to like repeat it anymore because like, it's so tiring to talk about it. So I'm just gonna skip the second part of the skill. But for Sprite Brothers, Vanguard Rearguard, once per turn when this unit attack wall boosted in Counterblast 1, you search your deck for up to 1 grade 3 quality Rearguard, then shuffle your deck. So which is kind of very nice because you can actually like potentially play this in Rising Nova, Rising Nova, which is kind of good, like very good for you to like hold whatever necessary grade 3s. I don't really play a lot, like I didn't really encounter a lot of like Sprite Brothers, so I can't really say necessary. I don't really remember what the cards are there besides Jungle or Maximum, for example, because that's the only grade 3 card I can still remember from the B series. I don't know, Duck E, but Duck E, I guess probably like Duck E you could potentially call Duck E as well. So and other good grade 3s that I would probably forget the names because I know these Sprite Brothers, alright? That's about it. So for Great Nature's case, Sleep Ram Jump Buck, okay, that's a very funny name. And then this unit attacks a Vanguard, once per turn of course. You Soul Blast 1, this one is Soul Blast 1, Sprite Brothers Blast 1. You discard the top part of your deck, apply either of the following effects depending on the type of the card. So if you discarded a normal unit, you choose 2 of your units plus 5k at the end of turn. If the trigger unit, you choose 4 of your opponent's trigger and retire them. So it's quite nice. So you get a few either you get a few or you get a power up, which is like a win-win situation. So it's quite nice as well. So for this one, so it's very good as well for this time round. I can't wait for Gear Chronicle to come out because I want Amber to come out. Please, I want Amber to be back in the VE meta and whatnot. So that's about it. So we have the Poké Rambus, which I really don't care. Okay, I'm sorry Poké Rambu fans, I'm sorry for those like super enthusiastic about Poké Rambu, but I'm not a very like I don't really get into slot boys. I know it's a meme in the community to call the for very hype about the slot boys, but that's about it. So we have the normal version TRR. I don't remember his name. I don't remember what's his name really. Yeah, so that's about it. The mascot of Poké Rambu, kind of. And then TRRs of Kiwami, which is Poké Rambu Rare, or Kiwami forms will be available in the main set, but TRR of the initial forms will be in the TD. So you can see that's about it here. So I have no other information other than Poké Rambu because I don't play Poké Rambu. I've forgotten all about Poké Rambu. I really don't care about Poké Rambu. I'm so sorry, but yeah, that's about it. Okay, but that aside, we have Kheios / Dark State support for this time round. So we have Fame Harsh Dragonic Lording, Buck Team. So continuous regard. If you play a normal order this turn, this one gets plus 5k. It's a continuous. So if you play once normal order, which of course you have to play one normal order because you can play one normal order per turn. You can play one order per turn anyways. This unit gets plus 5k. So 5k beater, 5k booster, 5k attacker. Yeah, that's about it. When this unit plays a rear guard, counter plus 1, you search your deck or drop zone for up to 1 reception of the Fame Demonic Mansion, which is the order card, reveal it and add to your hand. If you search your deck, shuffle your deck. So basically what this card does is also the only one of the cycle cards that I've been mentioning for the past week also. So this is the Dark State version of it. Given this aside, I don't think like the normal order this you could argue you can put this in Draw Jewel for the 5k, but then there's a lot of like better alternative options. So I don't see a lot of like people trying to play this card as well because like 5k for you to play like one order and then get some 5k and then once like recycle back your cycle card is kind of like also, but I guess to each their own, but for me, not really useful up until this point. For I can't really conceive like what other decks that will play this, but then again, yeah, I might be wrong over here. People might play it. It's a double rare as well, so that's about it. So we have the Reception of the Famed Demonic Mansion. Is a grade 2 normal order. You may soul charge one, choose one of your units, gets 5k until the end of the turn. At the end of that turn, you discard one card from your hand, choose one of the same name of this order card from your drop zone and add it to your hand, so you can bounce back. You can yeah, you can bounce back with this order left and right. So that's about it. Yeah, okay, I guess as you can find, this soul charge one gives you plus 5k, nothing fancy. It's just a rare card as well. But then again, let's get into the straight with Kheios support this time around. So we have Flame Blazing Demonic Lady Orient. So when this unit is placed on the rear guard, okay, other than by a unit card's ability, so technically speaking, you can play this from hand or from the normal order. I think other than by a unit card's ability, so you can technically speaking, you can just call by like from hand, or you can call by normal order. So if you play a normal order this turn, you soul last one, you look at the top 5 cards of your deck, you choose up to 1 card from normal order with the same or lower grade than your Vanguard, you relate, call it to a rear guard circle if it's a unit card, and add it to your hand if it's a normal order, and then you shuffle your deck. So the second skill, when this unit attacks grade 3 or greater unit, you soul blast 3 and draw 1, and this unit plus 5k until the end of the turn. Now, I can, technically speaking, this is a very generic card as well. So let's say if you want to play this in Kheios, okay, you play a normal order, you just look at the top 5, you just add it, you get to have like a call, let's say you get a free rear guard, I would say, but I guess it's not technically free, but you can just call one rear guard for like soul blast 1, and then you can add it to your hand if it's a normal order. So let's say if you play this in Kheios, you can probably bounce like a lot of like a good, I don't know, some very important staple Kheios cards, rear guards, which is like Kheios related, and then you can just pop the skills. Other than that, you can just shout in whatever Kheios order that you might have, and then you try to like put it to your hand as well, in order for you to like do it next turn as well. So you can also potentially look for Mask of Hydreigon as well, because this is like also very good for the reward in itself. You can also potentially play this into Kheios, for example. You can also potentially put this in what other good dark states that really doesn't care about. You can play this in Unrivaled Bruce for the Grade 3 Bruce, the Old Bruce. You're definitely not gonna play this in Diamonds, of course, because Diamonds requires you to have like a lot of like Diablos units. So that's about it. So not very. There's some decks that are very good as well, but then again, even then, this is a very good generic grade 2, cycle card, or like a very good grade 2 generic card, because you can put this in like a lot of decks as well. And you can get to draw 1, which is the same skill like to soul blast 3 and draw 1, which is like basically gun grab, but it's basically on auto when on attack, and gets 5k, so 15k attacker gets to draw 1, so it's quite nice. But then again, you have for like players such as like Dredge, you have to be like very mindful of your soul. Same goes for Unrivaled Bruce and whatnot. So yeah, that's about it. Quite good as well. I'm not sure if you have this space for Kheios, but that's debatable, that's arguable. It's up to the players to like decide like what deck list they want to put in. Alright, so we have Inciting Corruption, Mana. When this unit is placed on the rear guard circle, if you have Vanguard, if Kheios, if it's cut in, you counter plus 1, look top 2 or from your deck. Choose 1 card from one of them, add it to your hand, and the rest to soul. So quite nice, because you can actually try to like fill up your hand and fill up your soul at the same time. And then in the soul, if you have a Vermillion unit, okay, which is placed on the rear guard, so even your unit with Kani in its cunning is placed on the rearguard circle, whether it be the grade 3 or the grade 1. The Vanguard with Kheios in its cunning, discard one card from your hand, soul charge one, call this card the rearguard, and this will get boost until the end of the turn. So I see this is a very quite nice as well. I think this is actually a triple rare if I'm not mistaken. It's a double rare, okay, but it's still a very good card for Kheios, because the fact that you can actually try to like increase the number of different names from your soul, and you get to draw as well. And then even then you can get to like soul charge one, and then you can call him up to be a booster as well. Then I think you also is able, like you can basically do like a dual listing if I'm not mistaken, because this card in the soul, because let's say for example you have this card and then you, like on your hand you call this one, then you prop. Basically you can just prop another one with like you can basically, if you call it Kani, then you can just call it again, then you can, you know, rinse and repeat. So I might be wrong here, but I have a feeling this is what you can actually do with this grade 2 card. So I'm not sure if this is in PA or 4 because Kheios has a lot of like issues with like different, like up to like 13 different card names in your soul. So that's about it. But that aside, we have the new Kheios grade 3 with the Soul Oratorio Kheios. When this thing is placed by riding on approaching friend Kheios, you may soul charge 3, which is very good. You can potentially play Brainwash for this time for that 50k. Alright, so yeah. So then you choose up to 2 cards from your soul and 1 to your hand, for the rest to the rearguard and 2 from persona. Right, so basically a 23k Peter attacker. So yeah, so that's about it. New Kheios is now 23k instead of the old Kheios. There's like a lot of people complain because like he doesn't really power up himself, but now Kheios can power up himself, and you can get to like soul charge 3, you can get to call, and then you can get to like 1 to hand as well, so which is quite nice. And then act Vanguard once per turn. If you have 13 or more types of cards in your soul, you soul blast, you find one the old Kheios from your soul, and until the end of the turn, all of your units gets power plus 10k, including himself. Alright, all of your units, because you didn't say all of your rearguards like last time with the old Kheios. So all of your units plus 10k, including himself. And that's unit plus 1 crit, which is super good, which the old Kheios did not have. So at the end of the turn, you write the fun card for this cost as rest. So it's super nice. So we have like a good Kheios finally. Whether or not this will fix Kheios, I have no idea, but I think the good part of this is that all of your units able to like get 10k aside from your persona, right? And you also get a crit, and you can also like ensure that the next turn you can able to write this card again. So it's just really nice, really cool. And add to your hand, like add 1 card to your hand and have a free call somewhat. So it's good as well. So you can basically like cycle with mana, and that's about it. So yeah, so next week is Tamayura support and also Spirits collect cards. Okay, so that's about it. Alright, so Thursday tonight, which I understand this is the segment that everybody's been waiting for. It's the Eva support this time down. So we have, technically speaking, Trick Faster Bullets, which is a Blitz order. Choose up to two grade 2 or greater unit cards with different card names to your drop zone. Choose call them the Guardians of Ghost, choose 1 of your units and plus 5 cards until the end of the battle. So it's quite nice as well. It's a very I think it's a rare, yeah, it's a rare card. And it's also like the same like a series of the cycle cards with the orders and yada whatnot, right? So so one of the footnotes that the Bushiroad has actually added in there is that if you can see that this part, which to say that because you can able to call 2 grade 2 or greater normal units from your drop zone and call it the Guardian Circle. So in Eva's case, you can call 2 of the Obstacates, each plus 10k shield. The grade 3 Obstacates gives you a 10k shield, and the grade 2 Obstacates gives you like a plus 5k shield, so you can do that as well. For Archive, you can call Cycle card. For like Seraph, you can like call Beneto Aquas. I don't remember which card is that, but then like it's basically like when placed on the Guardian Circle. I might be wrong. I think it's the one that's so last one, and then like negate all the grade 2 effects that with like have negate all the powers of the grade 2 attack. Basically like a PG but for grade 2s, I think. I might be wrong, so you can correct me on that. So basically speaking, there's like a lot of like conditions that you can make good use of this Blades Order as well, in order for you to like say to capitalize on whatever units or skills that allows you to have like a 5k shield, 10k shield, for example. And it's not just only for like the obscurates or like for cycle gate as well. You can potentially like hold like whatever guardian circle skills that nobody even plays with, like 15k interceptor, or I don't know, like 15k shield or something along those lines, right? So that's about it. So it's quite nice. It's very nice Blades Order, but then again, we have to make space. So it's up to people to play however they want. Then that again, we have the next card. We have Lady Fencer of Twin Stars, which I like the art. I think everybody's like very. It's very pale, very nice. It gives me like a Shirayuki vibe plus Wing Joker, of course, because like you can see the black rings over it, red and black rings over it. So it's super nice for some reason. I kind of like the art. The art really goes well, and the color contrast of this card is like super appealing as well. So yeah, I would like really want to capitalize on this art first, because like so nice, so good, you know. Okay, so yeah, we have Lady Fencer of Twin Stars. So when this unit attacks auto rearguard, okay, if there's a Blitz Order in your drop zone, you soul +1 and this unit plus 10k until the end of battle. So if she's a 20k attacker, or whether if you have a Blitz Order in the drop, and then rearguard skill at the end of the battle that this unit attacked a Vanguard, you counter blast 1 and bind this unit. And you search for your deck for up to 1 grade 2 or greater Blitz Order without rearguard piece. You reveal it and add it to your hand and shuffle your deck. If there's a Blitz Order in your drop zone, you may search for a set order instead. So quite nice. So let's say for example you have this Blitz Order in your drop zone already, or whatever it is. Blitz Order, it could be the Regalis piece, could be like, I don't know, Elementum Zyncaria, provided if I don't know what you do with it in the early game, you want to discard it, so that's about it. But if you have the Blitz Order in your drop zone already, you can basically just search for a set order, which is kind of nice instead, because it allows you to basically set order next turn. So yeah, and potentially speaking, you can also kind of like play this in Edo Grandma, you can play the Batman Kaiju, you can also like play this in Archive, you can play this in you can play this in Seraph as well, but I don't think Seraph will even have the space to play this. But I can see the potential of like putting this card into like a lot of very mean decks, I would say, like kind of like a very budget decks, like say Edo Grandma and Archive, for example. Ever you can basically play this as well, so that's about it. But that's how it is. So we have the double red as well, which is like a this. Okay, now look at this art and tell me that it doesn't really remind you of Latios or Latios. I don't remember which one is it. It kind of like reminds me of that because of the color scheme and the design and whatnot. So yeah, so this is Upgaze Adzarch Ardora. So it's an alien, okay, despite it being a very mecha-like unit, but I digress. When this unit is placed on put on Guardian Circle, okay, place and put is different thing, okay. Put on Guardian Circle, if you have a Vanguard with ever in its card name, you choose up to 1 card from obscurate in its card name from your drop zone and call it to Guardian Circle or add it to your hand. If you add it to your hand, you choose 1 card from your hand and discard it. So basically speaking, it is also like very defensive card, and then you can just able to like bounce an obscurate grade 3 obscurate from your drop zone, and then you just call it to the Guardian Circle, and that's about it. But even then, if you wanted it for the next turn, you have to make like to ensure that you have multi-attack next turn. You can basically just discard like whatever cards that you feel might not be necessary. For example, So this is actually quite a good double rare card as well. I'm not sure how many people will play this card. I guess probably a 2-off, 3-off, but I think it's probably technically a 2-off would be fine. Okay, now your biggest highlight of the day, Poison in Paradise Eva. So we can see Eva over here in all of her beauty and it's all of glory. So that's about it. Yeah. Eva is here, right? So Poison in Paradise Eva, with this unit placed by writing on the old Eva. You search your deck for up to 1 research card, you read it and add it to your hand, shuffle your deck and activate persona, right? So basically it's the same thing with what previous greater right lines have been doing, by basically just writing a different name but still regarded as persona, right? So it's something like that. Alright, so when this unit attacks Vanguard, this is Vanguard, when this unit attacks, you find 1 old arrow from your soul, you search your deck hand, hand or drop zone for up to 1 obsidian in its card name. You either call it the rear guard circle, you have to call it the rear guard circle, you call it the rear guard circle, and this unit gets 5k until the end of turn. If you search your deck, so shuffle your deck, at the end of the turn you just write back the old Eva as rest. So basically speaking, in long story short, for what Eva actually is supposed to do for this one is that while you do not gain the advantage for adding 1 card from your hand and thereby filtering, like with the old Eva skill, you just see the on the last one, you just look up to like how many research cards in your order zone and then you put it to your hand. So basically kind of lose the draw / filter processing, but at the same time you're able to like call back for all obscurate back to the rear guard circle for basically like 0 cost. I would remind you that this is a 0 cost deck actually, it's a 0 cost card because none of this has Counter Blast, none of this has a Soul Blast. You just need to bind 1 arrow from the soul, and which makes it really important because the thing about Eva is that late game, if you are run out, the status quo of the moment is that with Eva decks right now, if you run out of the grade 1 orders to the grade 1 research order to box like whatever obscurate from your drop, this fixes the problem because during that late game, Eva can't survive much of the late game because all you need is to have consistently to have obscurate in your hand or in your deck all the time. So basically speaking, when you have Eva on playing this Eva, you can basically for the purpose of sort of late game, you can just call back whatever obscurate from your drop zone as well. So which is kind of nice for call by card effects for obscurate, and obscurate can also technically call an attack for, let's say, because obscurate basically is a 33 attacker, so if you activate personal right with this one as well, 33k, so obscurate can potentially attack you for a 38k, which is quite nice. So plus with a double crit as well. So the thing about this card is super good as well, but most players I've heard so far, they say that this is not a very ideal card for you to write early game. You need to write it you have to write it until the very late game. Say for example your obscurate has been found, for example, or say you don't have much obscurate left in your deck or your drop zone, or you have a lot of obscurates in your drop zone but not much in the not much in the deck. So basically it just helps you to bounce back a lot of your resources late game wise. So Eva, this new Eva is good. I don't deny that it's kind of mid, but it's good as well. So most people would play it around 3 or 2. Based on my conversations with my friends for what Eva is supposed to be. So I think this is really very, very good as well for Eva to have this. Mind you, it doesn't really counter quote unquote Vermillion, because if you are facing up against Vermillion, you would just have to pray that he doesn't. Vermillion just doesn't mind your obscurate. So that's how it's supposed to be. Yeah. So that aside, that's how it is. Alright, so Sapien Owl, Data Sanctuary, High Beast, so you can know what this card is supposed to be. It is the Bastion PR. So continuous, rear guard, hand, trigger zone. During your turn, if you have a Vanguard with Bastion, this unit gets grade +2 and +2k power. So like already this first skill is an instantly fall off in like a lot of Bastion decks. Here's why. Great Bastion has like a lot of great trees, and the instances of you not having enough shields and whatnot allows you for this like extra 5k shields to be like in your deck. So you at least Bastion gets four more extra cards that allows you to have a 5k shield. But that aside, this card actually can do like a great tree on your field, on your trigger zone, and on your hand, so which is super nice. And which is super nice because you don't have to be like really afraid to like try to like proc. Like say for example, if you did not drive check any great trees, this solves the problem. And then like if you want to like discard a great tree or whatever cost it is, you can basically just discard this card. Like I'm giving an example for now. Okay, I'm giving an example. If like say for example requires you to like discard great tree or greater. So very nice. Then the second skill, when this unit is placed on Trigger Circle, if your Vanguard with Bastion is cunning, you put a great tree card from your drop zone into your soul, choose one of your Vanguards plus 5k until end of the turn. If you put a card with Bastion in this card name for this cost, if you did not CC the resistance, you CC one. Bastion gets a CC this time round, so which makes me very happy. Granted, of course, Great Fall Bastion doesn't really CD that much in my own, I think in my own recent memory. But like let's say for example, you might need a lot of cards that CD a lot. For example, Alden, who else is like CD a lot? Rack Wheel, for example. What else? Like the ones that you can need to call for like Counter Blast one, and then allows you to like boost, draw and boost that card. So basically, this is the basically like solves a lot of problems, like shield problems, especially for Bastion, and also like solve the CC problem. Not that Bastion has a CC problem in the first place, but it's still good because you can also shove in the Bastion into the soul as well, so you can also use it to prop for Great Fall Bastion still, so which is quite nice. So I love this promo. I'll be granted it doesn't really like fast track you to right into Great Fall very fast as in like the previous class we've seen before with like Mahal, where you get Amelia, you have the Sylph, you have the Fairy for Magnolia, which is a promo, which is great too. At least this one is like super nice for Break 1. It doesn't really go along the line with the fast track your Great Falls, but it's still there. Now, which gives me the hope that Bruce might also get a same card like this in the near future, but whether or not, I'm speculating. There's two possibilities. That either number one, you have a set order that allows like all your Diamonds, like if in the case of Diamonds, like all of your units become Diablos in this card name, thereby like triggering, not triggering, thereby like given like a lot of possibilities for like both cards to be played back into Diamond's boost, for example Marjorie, Waterbug, etc. along those lines. Or probably like another card that also can fast track into you riding a Great Tree into riding into Great Fall. So that's also a possibility. I'm betting on these two speculations for now, because if Nirvana gets a like Nirvana gets the Great Fall support, if Magnolia gets the Great Fall support, if this one like Bastion promo gets the support, I am waiting for Bruce, and we are also waiting for Seraph, for that support to come in. So I'm really excited for that. So that's about it. Okay, now the last part is not really important because this is basically the last list of the reprints that is going to be in the history like festival collection. So basically speaking, long story short, we have like a lot of G eras, B eras cards to be reprinted. So we will say, for example, we have B Ultima to be back. I'm surprised that they have reprinted Salome for B, which I did not expect as well. It is expensive card, but I did not expect them to like reprint Salome as well. So that's about it. All of the, long story short, all draw triggers, like draw PGs are back. Some of the unflippers of like the G Guardian are like flippers, G Zone flippers are back, some of them. And then you have like a lot of like the Striders during the G era, and then you have the Strike Forces which are back as well. So it's a very long list. I do not want to get into it. It's very long, so you can see for yourself. So every clan has their list over here. You have Angel Feather, you have like Surreal, Makhluk Malek, Malik, and whatsoever. I wish for Angel Feather's case, I wish they have repeated Yafkel, because Yafkel is such a very important card that it's very hard to find at the moment. So yeah, so I'm not really sure about like Oracle King Time, Shadow Paladin. Luat is back with the V, Dragheart and Drag Rival, very good. All the reprints are back. So Claret Sword is back. So going in, we have Gold Paladin, we have like Paramore is back, Fatina Ezo is back. So yeah, V for the reprints. Golden is also getting reprinted. Genesis, I'm not really sure because yeah, Flying Lapwing is so weird because like I'm not sure that's a very well sought card in premium, but I might be wrong. So that's about it. So we have Pagero. You can see that the Nile Griffin is back, the Axe is back, which is really good because it's a very expensive card. It's very hard card to find. And then we have Nubatama, we have Hanzo is back, we have Shiranui, V Shiranui, we have V Furai, we have Oboro, Shiranui Oboro, Tachikaze, we have like the Spinner Driver, V Spinner Driver, we have the Gaia Emperor is back. Hyuga for Murakumo, Hyuga is back, Hyakubo is back, that's about it. Narukami, yada yada, you can see on the list here. I'm not gonna get straight into it. Noah Crafter is back. So that's about it. Lady Cyclone, Dimension Police, Link Joker, we have all of the Vocode for Link Joker, Vocode the Great Fall is very good as well to be reprinted, so I'm very happy for them to have reprints for that. Sprite Brothers, like Irregulars, etc. Dimension Creeper is like what else? No Life King, and then you have like Animatic Assassin, okay, and then after that you have Pale Moon, and then for Gear Chronicle, which I'm very familiar with because I play Gear, of course, if I'm not that obvious by now. Okay, Bearlock is back, so which is a very good reprint because Bearlock is basically a promo card last time. So I'm very happy for them to reprint that card with that, because that PR card, G Guardian, is very hard to find nowadays. So I'm very happy for them to reprint that. V Next Stage is good for the reprint because it's also quite expensive right now. V Chronopunk Tiger, not quite necessary, but then I can understand why people still play that one. Delayed Blazer Dragon, History Maker Dragon is absolutely chef's kiss because it is a very essential card for timely premium. Yes, thank you very much. History Maker is very hard to find. TikTok Worker, not really necessary because I mean, if like TikTok Worker is like a common card back then in G, so I have pretty sure there will be like a bundle of TikTok Workers right now. Chrono Jet, Steam Breath, Arlene, very good for the reprints and like whatnot. Castilla is good, and then we have the V Chrono Run, which is quite nice, I guess. I like it, it's fine. Then we have Friend 2, we have made a Triangle, which, yeah. The one thing I want to ask Bushiro up to this point for being a Triangle is, where is Loris? All the Striders up until this point for the G era, like for example Altamont, Chronojet, Asha, they all have their forms V. So where is Loris? I'm expecting a Loris. Bushiro, if you're watching this video, which the likelihood of you watching this video is 0, I want you to print Loris. We miss Loris. Please bring back Loris. Thank you very much. Okay, now Aqua Force, yada yada, I don't care. Gladius is back. No Reversion is back. Okay, good. V, Mega Colony, I don't care. So that's about it. So you can see the visual aid for like what is going to get reprinted. Salome, you can see Salome over here. You can see Tenos. I think that's the grade 3, the new grade 3 Outer Mount, and then you have the old Outer Mount, so which is quite good. I like it. Great Nature, Neo Nectar, Ines is back, Katrina is back, and that's about it. And yeah, that's about it. Okay, the news is over. Okay, so how long have I been recording? Close to 50 minutes. It's close to 1 hour. Okay, this is a very long video, longer than last time. Okay, so I will not waste my time anymore. So what I'm guys supposed to do is I will stop this video right here, right now. If you have enjoyed this video, if you have any opinions, whatever analysis or whatsoever like opinions, like how to build like Vermillion, how to build Ever, how to build Kheios, feel free to comment down there below. But other than that, do expect for me to like watch, like do expect me to put out my WGP vlog around this Saturday or Sunday. Sorry for the late upload because I'm kind of like very busy with a lot of assignments, so that's about it. I'm gonna stop this video right here, right now. So thank you guys for watching. If you do like, hit subscribe and like and share these videos. I'll see you guys in the next video. So that's about it. This has been Professor Rank 5 signing out, and good night. It's 3 a.m. Bye.